Hi, everybody. Today we are going to learn how to bow without the tube. So we're going to put the bow on the string and make some beautiful music today. So on November the 17th, we posted our video about bowing with the tube. So if you have not done the November 17th video recently, I highly encourage you to go back and review that video first before proceeding with this one. Okay, so the first step to bowing without the tube is to set the bow onto the string. So we call this lift, set, settle. Okay, so I lift the bow, I set the bow, and I'm setting mine on the D string, okay, close to my hand, close to the frog. And then we settle. And when I settle, I drop my elbow a little bit and I put some weight into the string. Okay. Can you wiggle the string back and forth without making a sound? Okay. So try that again. Lift, set, settle. Okay. So now I've got a little weight into the string. Okay. And then you pull. And if you've done a good job with your tube, it should be very similar to that. Okay. You open that elbow, pull all the way out to the tip. Okay, notice my elbow is straight and my bow is perpendicular to the string. And then I circle back, lift, set, settle, and wiggle a little bit too. Pull, lift, set, settle. Okay, and I am going to do this in a mirror. Right now I'm watching myself in the video, so I can tell if my bow is moving in a straight line. But the best way to do that is in a mirror. Okay, so if you watch my bow, okay, you can see how the bow stays between the bridge and the fingerboard. And you can see how my bow stays in a nice straight line. Okay, so that's the main difference between playing with the tube and without the tube. Okay, when you have a tube on there, you don't have to worry about this. The tube keeps your bow between the bridge and the fingerboard. When you play without the tube, you're in charge of that. So very, very important to play this with a mirror or a selfie mode camera so that you can watch what your bow is doing while you're pulling, okay? After I've done a few of those lift, set, settles, I'm gonna set my metronome. I've got my metronome on 69, just like we did when we were using the tubes. And I'm gonna play half notes. Okay, so lift, set, settle. Here we go. Note, lift, and. Note, lift, and. Note, lift, and. Note, lift, and. Okay, so go ahead and set your own metronome to 69. You pause the video and do that many, many, many times, okay, until you are making a pleasing sound and your bow is nice and straight. Now, at this point, you're probably creating some crunching noises. You're probably creating some squeaking noises. So crunching, squeaking, where does that come from? That comes from friction, right? If I build up too much friction between the bow and the string, it crunches. And so I have to get rid of friction. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, there's three things that produce more friction, right? If I press harder, or if I pull slower, or if I play closer to the bridge. Okay, those three things create more friction, which causes crunching. Okay, too much weight, not enough speed, too close to the bridge. So if I want to reduce the amount of friction I'm using, I do the opposite. Okay, so I play with less weight, don't press quite so hard. I move my bow faster, and I move my bow a little bit closer to the fingerboard. Okay, and I would say the fourth thing that may cause an unpleasant sound is if your bow is crooked. Okay, that also causes a little bit of friction. So if you're crunching, you have to do a little bit of self-diagnosis. What is causing that crunching? And can you do the opposite? Okay, are you pressing too hard? Can you press less? Are you not using enough speed? Can you move your bow a little faster? Are you too close to the bridge? Okay, can you move a little bit towards the fingerboard? And finally, is your bow moving in a straight line? Okay. Okay, so after you've done several lift set settles, you've come up with a pleasing sound with a straight bow. Now you want to try it at the tip. Okay, so I lift and extend my arm, extend my elbow. Now I'm at the tip, lift, set, settle. You can wiggle a little bit and then push. Lift, set, settle, push. Lift, set, settle, push. Okay. And as you notice, when I lift, I have to open that elbow, just like I do when I pull a down bow, right? I have to use that same exact motion. Okay, and then you try that with your metronome at 69. Ready, push, lift, push, lift, push, lift, push. Okay, so many down bows, many up bows. And then the final stage, the final step is to put those together. Okay, you might try 4 bows and then rest for a measure just to regroup, but eventually you want to try to do them continuously. Okay, so metronome on 69. I'm going to go both directions. Ready, and. And there you have it. Now, if you get pretty good at that, if you feel good about that and you're making a pleasing sound, don't forget to work on whole notes and quarter notes, just like you did when you had the tube on. Okay? And this week we are not doing any plucking. The plucking assignment for this week is to go back and review basically pages 9 to 14. Okay, go back and practice some of the ones maybe that you weren't so good at the first time around. Next week, we are going to do our last page of plucking, page 15. Okay, so this week is all about reviewing up to page 14, and then we'll learn that last page, page 15, next week. Okay, good luck, have fun.